Good marvelous Monday, Sassy Scrappers. How are you doing today? Hey, I have quite the project for us here today, so it will take a little bit. And guess what? It is Monday. You guys caught me. Sometimes I do these on Sunday if I'm going to be busy on Monday, but I'm doing it on Monday. So, and we are live. So I am taping this though so that I can post it different places. So I just wanted to, I saw Krislyn Matei, some of you may have heard of her, do this on a blog post, and she showed how to do it. And I just thought it was the cutest darn thing. So I wanted to also share with my girls, because I know they don't always get out there and watch all of them. And we are going to be making little hats today. Little snow hats and little Santa hats. So I'm going to make them on a page. I've cut some of the stuff already, but some of it I have not. So we will go through, and first of all, I'm going to show you how to do a little hat like this. And this is just for sledding or whatever. Maybe I'll bring it down just a little bit. For the kids going sledding or whatever. And you can do it with any paper. So any scraps that you have left are great to do it with. This is a piece, a fairly good piece though that I had left. I'll do it on this side this time. So what I'm gonna do is take our circle punch. You know, circle punch is great. And just put it in there, and I'm just gonna punch a circle. And we'll do this side this time. And then I'm going to bring it back over here, and I'm going to cut it at 1 3/8. So 4/8 is a half, so you're just gonna cut just a little bit less than that off. You could do a half, actually. 1 1/2 would work too if that's easier for you. But you're just gonna cut this little bit off to give you the flat side and the curve for the top. Okay, and then you're going to take a couple strips, and we need a 1/2 inch strip and a 3/8 inch. And I think this one's 3/8. Yep, this one's 3/8. And so I'm going to need a little 1/2 inch strip. So I'm just going to put it up here. The first line going all the way down is 1/2 inch. Okay, so I have a 1/2 inch strip, and I'm going to cut each one of these at 1 7/8. So that is just a tad bit back from the 2. 8/8 is 2. Oh, that's not going to look very good for that one, is it? Well, it looked really cool on this one. Well, let's see here. Let's do this one at 1 7/8. This is our 1/2 inch strip. So we'll put this down first, and then I'll cut a strip of red at 3/8, which is easier for me to do this way. So I've got, there's my half. So it's going to be a little less than that. Okay, so there's my 3/8 in red, and then we're going to cut this at 1 7/8 length. All kinds of little strips here. I'm going to get them all mixed up when I get to go do the Santa hats. Okay, then we're just going to attach that on top of this, and you can just use your repo for that. Just kind of center it on there. Okay. And then we're going to put that on the hat. And just try to, again, center it on there so you have a little bit hanging off each side. And then we're going to just take our scissors, precision tip scissors, and we're just going to kind of round that off a little bit. Okay, we'll do the same thing over on this side. Just kind of round it off, soften it up a little bit. Okay, now we need a ball for the top, don't we? You got to have a ball on the top of your hat. So I am going to, you can use your hole punch, but it was pretty small. I didn't like it that small. I wanted it bigger. You can see mine's bigger. So I found the gear wheel border cartridge, and it has a perfect little circle right there. So I just took a strip of paper that was big enough to fit in there. Whoops, gotta fit it in from the other side here. Fit it in there and put it right over that circle. So a 1/2 inch works. And then I just cut it, okay? So I got a few other extra little punch poop here, but I also got this nice little circle for the top. So I'll just put a little tape on there, and there you have your little hat. Aren't those cute? So I'm going to be putting the Santa hats on these. We just put them on a little, this is a 2 1/8 by 2 1/8 inch square, 2 1/8 by 2 1/8. And you can just put them in a little box and make a border out of them. And that's what we're going to do with the Santa hats too. But I just wanted to show you how to make these in case you didn't want to make Santa hats. You could make little snow hats. Okay? So now I've got all these scraps all over. But we're going to make Santa hats now. And I have 2 of them around here somewhere, and I've already lost one. Yeah, it's around here somewhere. Okay, so we're gonna start off. I wonder where it is. You know how it is. Oh, there, I found it. Okay, we're gonna start off with a sheet of crimson red paper, and we're going to gut it at 1 inch. Now, I've showed some of you how to do this before, and I'm going to show you, sorry for the shadows, the sun's shining. I'm going to show you again, because some of you have forgotten, and whenever I can, I always like to gut at 1 inch, just because it is so easy to do. So, what you're going to do is put your paper on 1 inch over on this side, and you're going to line the back edge of the housing unit right along the edge of the paper. There is 1 inch from the back of this housing unit to where the cut line is. So that makes it so easy. Just line it up with the back of the paper, press down, and then when you get to the bottom, and I'm not sure if you can see the bottom, maybe I should stand up and see if you can see the bottom. Can you see the bottom of my paper? Not quite. Let me move it up just a little bit. There, I think you can. Okay, there you can. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the housing unit, right even with the paper, and then when I get down here to the bottom, I'm going to stop when this end of the housing unit is at the edge of the paper. Okay, so I just press down, and I come down until that housing unit's even, and I stop and let up. Then I'm gonna take it and turn it, put it on the 1 inch, and I can go from either direction. Line it up with the edge of the paper, press down, and go to the edge of the paper. Turn it, line it up at 1 inch. Same thing, line it up with the edge of your paper, press down, and go to the edge of your paper again. One more time. 1 inch, the edge of the paper to the edge of the paper. And you'll come out with your frame, and then you can save this paper and use it for something else, for maps or something, okay? So I've got my frame now, and then I took this piece of green paper and I cut it down to 11.5 by 11.5. Now, if you watch the blog post of Krislyn doing this, she does this at 11.75 by 11.75. So then there's just this itty tiny bitty frame around it. And you know what? I like to see a little bit more of that frame. Now, maybe you don't. And if you don't, then go ahead and do it at 1 3 or 11 3/4 instead of 11 1/2. But I like to see a little bit more of that frame. Maybe it's because I don't see very well. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put this down, center it on the frame. So we're just gonna put a little bit of tape on the outsides. Oh, wouldn't you know, run out of regular tape. Hardly ever do that. So I'm gonna go to my repo. I always have 2 repos here. Oh, that's not my repo. That was, that is, oh, what do you call it? Vellum tape runner. This is my repo. I always have 2 repos here. There's one right beside me too, if I would look there. Because I always run out of repo. I would suggest probably doing it with regular tape, doing this part. And we're just gonna get this centered and get it down on there the best you can. And obviously it's gonna be at 1/4 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch because that's what's gonna be our frame. So if you do that all the way around, you should be pretty good, okay? So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut a 4 1/2 by 12-inch strip, and we're going to put it across the middle, okay? And again, I put it on my 13-inch mat, and 6 inches is the center. So we're just gonna kind of put it in the center here. So if we go at 3 1/4 across there, we should be pretty good. And a lot of times when I'm doing this, I'll just lift it up when I've got it where I want it, put the adhesive under it, and flip it back over. And there we go, okay? And you can tell I'm pretty close because of my trees, okay? Then I'm going to cut a 2 1/2 by 11 1/2 inch strip. And this is what we're gonna basically make our border with, okay? And we're gonna put that in about 1 inch from the outside, okay? So we'll put a little tape on, tape on there. And we've got this lined up, so we're just gonna put it at an, whoops, we're gonna start it on the paper, not on the cardstock. Should go from paper to paper here, because we cut it 11 1/2. Now this is where we might get a little tricky. I cut my squares at what she told me to. I may have to cut them down a little bit because this piece of paper is a little bit shorter than what she had. She said to cut them at 2 1/8. So we'll see, and you'll need 5 of them. So we'll see if they'll all fit on here at 2 1/8. I think maybe they will. I think we'll be okay. Okay. So there we go. So we're gonna just kind of center those up. And again, we're just gonna stick them down. Trying to leave about the same amount of space in between each one. And a lot of times what I'll do is start at the top and the bottom. And then kind of go from there. And then we're gonna make our Santa hats. Yeah, 2 1/8 will work. Even if you cut it down. Oh, look at that. I got too much in there, don't I? Okay, so I have a little bit too much space. So I'm gonna grab my well, maybe it's not as bad as I thought. That isn't too bad. We'll just leave it for now. If I need to measure and change it later, I will. But I was going to use my multi-purpose tool to get those up. Okay, so now we're going to make the Santa hats. So you're going to need 2 pieces of paper that are 1 3/4 by 6 inches. So 1 3/4 by 6, okay? And you're gonna need 2 of them. And I already have done a couple of them. I'm going to show you how to do them. So what you're going to do is take your piece of paper and you're going to take the top right corner and the bottom left corner and line them up on your cut line, okay? Put it down and you want to cut right along there. Just go slow and press firmly and that'll help hold it into place. Now, be real careful. Lift this up. You're going to keep these 2 pieces together and you're going to twist them so that this corner and this corner are on the cut line, the opposite corners. Okay? Keeping those pieces of paper together. And you can put like some washi tape on the back of them or something like that if you want to. See there, that one just moved because I moved my hand. Okay, and then after you twist them, you're going to do the same thing, is cut through those. Just push firmly and hold them on one side and it works, okay? You're going to take these 2 longer pieces, throw them away or do whatever you want to with them. These are going to be your hats. Okay, now we're going to score these hats so that they flip over. So take out your cutting blade and put in your scoring blade and get out your ruler and pencil. Okay, and we're going to mark them. And I made it easier. She had 1 13/16 or something like that. And I knew that'd blow you guys' mind. So what we're going to do is measure from the corner and we're going to go to 1 3/4. I know you can find that. And just put a little mark, okay? And then go to the other side and mark out 1 1/4. So they're going to be a little offset. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on all 4 of them. I already did those other 2 just to make it a little bit quicker on here, but 1 3/4 on one side and 1 1/4 on the other side. Okay, now with your scoring blade in, and I made sure I had my straight blade out because we don't want to cut them. We're going to line those marks. Ah, you can't see because of the sun coming in. I don't have a fancy light like some of them do, so. And I got my Christmas ornaments up here that probably don't need to be put back further. Okay, so we're gonna line our 2 marks that we put on up on the cut line. And in this case, it'd be the scoring line. And you're going to score it just a little bit, okay? And you're going to do the same thing with the other one. So there's one of my lines, and there's the other line. Line them up on there. And run it across a couple times. And you do that to all 4. Now, before I forget, I'm going to open up, put my straight blade back in, stick my scoring blade back on the back so I don't lose it, and set that aside. Okay, now, see, you could even use these little hats in here. Wouldn't they be cute? Well, like that. So that'd be really cute too. But we're going to do Santa hats too. So, I've got 2 of them already done. And these 2, we're going to fold one of them that way and one of them that way. And you're going to want, if you have any of the craft tape, the one that's in the orange color, it has an orange colored case. This is craft tape. And it's it holds a little bit better for things like this because these little Santa flap things are going to want to pull up, okay? So we're going to fold them first. We're going to fold one of them this way. And then you just flip it over. And I'm going to put some of this crafting tape back here. It's kind of like the vellum. I mean, it's kind of sticky like that. And just put it back there. And that'll be like that one. So now I need one to go, let's see, like this. Okay. So again, I'm just going to put the tape back in here. So it'll stick really well and stick it down. Now, I see a little pencil mark there. So just get your white eraser. Always use white erasers. I usually try to buy pencils with white erasers on them too, but I do have this that I really like. It's just an eraser. And with all the mistakes I make, it works out great. Okay, so now we need a little something on these little puppies, don't we? So we are going to take a 1/2-inch strip, and I believe this is a 1/2-inch strip that I used before. I will just check it, and yes, it is a 1/2-inch strip. And we are going to cut it to 1 7/8 again. This is 1 3/4 across the bottom. And we're just going to cut it to 1 7/8, so it's just a little bit bigger. Oh, and actually, I already did that. So I have them already here. But that's what it is, 1/2 by 1 7/8. Okay. So they look like that. They're getting to look more Santa-y, aren't they? All right, so then I'm going to take my tape. Actually, I can move this away and put a little tape on this. And as you can see, I used one of the old insert sheets that showed the different paper. I think this was from Christmas a year or two ago. When they were heavier, they were really cardstock. And you're just going to put that on there to hang over the edges just a little bit. And then we're going to come back and we're going to kind of round it off like we did the others. But whenever you can use some of that, it just saves. I know all of us probably have a bunch of white cardstock though, from almost all my gals anymore use the drop-in pocket pages for their pages. So we always get cardstock in there. We kind of liked it when they changed the color of the cardstock that they were putting in it there for a while. I think they used black and some like tan and stuff for a while. We kind of liked that. We had different cardstock that we got for free or that we could use anyway. Alrighty, so there we go. So now we're going to take our precision tip scissors again. And we're just going to kind of round those off a little bit. There you go. See, look at that. And I'm not very good at this either. This one I didn't get on very even. We'll see if I need to even it up. Yeah, it's not too bad. Some of you are really picky, so you would want to even it up, I'm sure, but I kind of go with the flow. I figure nobody's going to look that close. They're supposed to be looking at the pictures anyway, right? Okay, there's 2. Ooh, they're so cute. It's just easier for me to do this from the back side of it. I don't know why, but there we go. One more. Don't forget about my open house Friday, or Sunday, Friday. Friday I'm going to Amana with my sisters. We're having a sister's day. So I hope that I get this open house all ready, so I'm ready. Alrighty, then For these, I did just use my punch. But we're gonna put these on first. I'm gonna leave the second one for either a journaling box or a little something different. And we're gonna go, I'll get this back up here. We're gonna go every other one as far as the way the little cap folds over. And then I'm gonna put those down. And you can kind of angle them or whatever, however you want them on there. I should have pulled out some Christmas pictures, and I could have put pictures on this page. But I will, because I like the Santa hats. If you know me, you'll know that usually at Christmas time I have a Santa hat on. The kids always make fun of me. Mom, that's stupid. But I still do it. Alrighty. Then we've got our little punch outs. And I don't know if I want to do the big ones or these little ones. The little ones might be okay for this. They're not quite as big, but I think they're okay. So I'm just gonna put a little tiny repo there and stick them down. And another tool. It should be tool time. Just pick it up that way. A lot easier to pick up because I'm always digging around trying to pick stuff up. So my lifter stick here works wonders. That one's already out of the way. Okay. Look at there. Aren't they cute? There's one of the other ones. I wouldn't put that in there, but. Okay, then what you can do is put, you know, your mats over here. I don't have any cut, but I do have some of this paper that I could cut and put, you know, some red, or maybe you would prefer some white. And I actually think I'll use my placement, that wasn't good, placement cards here. I can get 3 if I do a 5.5 by 3.5. And use this maybe as a little journaling box. And then use another little decoration or something over here. You know, just a couple little extra things there. And you have a pretty little page for Christmas. Okay, so that was kind of fun, huh? So Wacky Wednesday, this Wednesday. If you want any of these placement cards, let me know. I have a couple bundles of them left, and they're really cool to see kind of where you want to place your pictures. They're all different sizes. Like there's some little tiny ones. Like if I wanted to put a 2x2 picture over here, it kind of shows you how, you know, you can place them. Here's another one. I could, you know, do a couple like that over here. But it's really kind of cool to see how you can place your photos before you actually do, and see what size fits and everything. So anyway, that's my little page for today. I want to thank Krislyn Matei for showing me about that. You guys know me. I'm not creative, but I love to create. So that is our Marvelous Monday. And I hope you all have a great day. And sorry for all the shadows, but hopefully you can see some of it. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Stay sassy.